Hi there, I'm Stacy, the encaustic mixed media artist behind Studio Stacy. Encaustic literally means to burn in. So I paint with beeswax and a torch, and because it's mixed media, pretty much anything else I can get my hands on. If you're new around here, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Consider subscribing and joining this artsy community. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, which helps me get introduced to more like-minded artsy folks like yourself. Picking up where I left off in last week's video with this large painting, and I'm going to be adding lots of layers of encaustic paint and some probably more encaustic medium. So sit back, hope you enjoy the video. Good morning, afternoon, I guess it is actually. An exciting package has arrived actually a couple days earlier than what I thought. So I'm going to turn the wax on over there in the studio and get that heated up, but the silicone mats have arrived to put onto this slate countertop. So I'm going to get the wax heated up over there so that hopefully I can just move the wax, the griddles over once the wax is melted onto this slate countertop. Fingers crossed these silicone mats will work. If they do, I'll link them down below there in the description if you guys want to are interested in them. But let me get the wax turned on and let's get to rearranging the studio once again. Okay, first impressions of this silicone mat is really thick, so it feels like nice and heavy. I shouldn't really be cutting on it or anything like that, but if I'm trying to like scrape any extra wax off or wax strips, I think it should be nice. It shouldn't just rip real easily on me. It is supposed to be non-stick, so that's also good, and it's heat resistant. So I think first impressions, I think it's going to work. So I'm going to continue to get this countertop cleared off, and so I can get both of these mats on here. They weren't the least expensive options out there, but I think they're going to be nice and durable and will hopefully, fingers crossed, last for a really long time and work well. I wanted to make sure to note what it also says on the box of this silicone mat, which is to keep it away from fire and heat sources as it could disform the silicone. Now I have tried the torch, just kind of just going over it like how I would normally go over onto the panel and then slightly off of the panel with the torch, and it doesn't seem to affect anything on this mat. But I did want to mention that because I don't want anybody to go out and buy it and then see that warning and be like, oh, well, she told me I could use it. I'm not saying that for certain. I'm just telling you my experience with it, and I do really think it's going to work out nicely. Now, of course, I will always keep everybody informed if for some reason it all of a sudden decides, or I decide it's not going to work out or something like that. It also says not to cut or scrape on it, as you can scratch and also damage the surface. So just a couple notes that I just wanted to make sure I pointed out as to not lead anybody down the wrong path here. I also wanted to say I think this new setup is going to work really nicely. I can fit another griddle across the top up there if I wanted to have like warm and cool, or vice versa. And then over on the side here, I can put the camera stand still. However, I still don't think it's going to be a great setup for filming these large panels. Ideally, I would love to get a bar or something to mount a camera on and put it right up there, which is, if I can back up far enough, just above that work surface there. I think that would be ideal. However, more camera gear is just not quite in the budget. Maybe down the road, perhaps when I get to enough subscribers and views and all of that good stuff, I can slowly start building up more camera gear and more filming supplies. But in the meantime, just kind of bear with me as I paint some of these big panels. Some of the smaller panels should work out perfectly. It's just these big panels, I can't get the whole entire panel in, and the wax, and you know, the entire setup. So bear with me. Hopefully it will still be enjoyable. Now that I have that all set up, let's get to actually painting on this panel. I'm going to be picking out a few more colors. I apparently did not document the colors for this sketch, the paint colors for this sketch. So I'm going to be trying to sort through some of the greens and stuff like that. The other day I sorted through some of the colors, but didn't get to all of them. So I'm going to try to get some of the greens picked out for the trees and just continue on the painting. I'm going to leave you for tonight. I'm going to go figure out what we're having for dinner, and I will be picking you back up tomorrow here in the studio. I'm going to really try hard in the next couple days to get a lot of this painting done. Hopefully I'll get most of it done. We have some stuff at the end of the week going on in the pole barn that I have to be somewhat present for. So that's exciting news, except, you know, gonna lose a couple days here in the studio. So I'm hoping to get a lot of this done, and yeah, we'll see where it goes. Hopefully you can kind of start to get the vision of this. It's still pretty much a hot mess at the moment, but it'll get there. So today I added a lot of those blues and gray colors, some of this darker orange colors, just a lot more background colors in this. And my plan tomorrow, I think, is to come in and work on the tree trunks and some of the branches, things like that, and then hopefully get some more of the green paint down. Haven't done a lot of the green yet because I'm thinking that's kind of one of the last steps, but we'll see. It's getting there. So we'll see you tomorrow. Back in the studio today, and I found my first problem that is covering the fuse panel with art. and that is when one blows a fuse because the one has, I guess, apparently too many things plugged in. You can't get to the fuse box. So I have my encaustic medium turned off until Matt can come down and help me move some paintings around so I can flip the fuse again. Luckily, the other two griddles over yonder are working, so I'm going to be able to paint some things, but encaustic medium is turned off for now. Can't quite reach the fuse box because that green painting is up a bit too high, and I don't really want to take the chance of dropping it. Okay, my reinforcements are here.
Is that what I am?
Yes.
Maintenance.
So, what's my lesson here?
3 griddles on 1 plug is probably too much.
Oops.
They take a little bit of amperage.
Now I know.
Or just use 2 at a time.
No, I need 3. 3 is needed.
What do you think, YouTube? Does she need 3? Need?
Yes. All right, you can get back to work now.
Thanks. Bye for now.
All right, now that power has been restored, I'm going to do what I plan to do today in the studio, and that is the tree branches and the tree trunks. I needed power to do that, to use the encaustic writing tool. So I'm gonna, I think, probably set you guys up on time lapse, probably up top above the painting, and hopefully it'll be an okay view for y'all. So yeah, let's get to getting these tree trunks and branches at least somewhat done. Okay, quick change of plans. Because that encaustic writer writes such fine lines, what I'm gonna do is do a overall coat of a mixture of brown and black on these tree trunks and branches first, and then go back over adding the texture in with the encaustic writer. So a little bit of change of plans. Still a long ways to go on this, but it's very much less of a hot mess, I think. So you walk up here and try to get you a couple close-ups. I really like how this is turning out. up top here. And let me get you some close-ups of how that encaustic writer is coming out. I think those are that texture in there on the trees. There's a couple blobs that kind of need to be worked out perhaps, but it's definitely getting there. All right, I had to add one more tree in on this side, but now I am calling it for the day in the studio. And just to give you an idea of the studio, it's a bit of a disaster area. Little happy creative mess going on in here. All right, see you tomorrow. Good morning. Back in the studio this morning. I'm going to continue on with this painting, probably putting down a lot of greens. I'm not sure how exciting this video is going to be, but I'll probably try to get a couple different camera angles, and I'm just going to be basically blocking in a lot of green on the trees. So let's get started. I thought I would give you a quick explanation of why the two different pancake griddles here. And it's basically for mixing colors. I mix my cool colors, blues and greens, on one griddle, on the lighter colored griddle, and then on the darker griddle, I mix the warmer colors, oranges, browns, yellows, and that way I'm hopefully not making mud a color that I maybe perhaps don't want. So just a quick explanation of why I have two griddles and a quick explanation of the setup. My encaustic medium is also in a separate electric fry pan. So hopefully that is helpful if you're new around here and are wondering why I have two different griddles, or I guess three different griddles. Okay, I think this is getting here. I'm gonna flip the camera around and show you guys a couple close-ups. I don't know, it's off to me. Something is off with it. I'm not sure what. I have about 45 minutes or so to figure that out, which doesn't give me a lot of time. Try not to put too much pressure on myself because I mean, this is a big, huge painting and I want it to come out perfectly. So, or at least perfectly in my opinion. So I don't know who said this quote, but I saw a post the other day on Instagram, and I don't even remember who posted it. It was like a repost, but somebody basically said, there's only two people that you have to make happy when it comes to your art. It's not your husband, it's not your best friend, it's not your mom, it's not your dad, it's not the people that follow you on social media. There's only two people, and that is your 8-year-old self and your 80-year-old self. And I thought that was a great saying. So I don't think my 80-year-old self or 8-year-old self is super happy with this. I don't know. So at any rate, let me flip the camera around. I'm going to stop blabbering and kind of show you what I think may be the problem. The other issue, though, is that I need to start a 100-day project tomorrow, and both griddles are in use. So I need to get one of them cleaned up at least, which means putting the paint away and color mixes away that I already kind of have mixed up. And the other issue is that it is Wednesday. Tomorrow and Friday is pretty much tied up with a lot of pole barn stuff. I'm hoping to squeeze in a little bit of time for the 100-day project, but so I'm trying not to panic. There's no need to panic, right? It's just a painting. Things will work out. But anyway, let me flip the camera around. Just thought I would go on this little rant for you. All right, so here it is, the overall painting. And I don't know, there's something with this bottom area and the blue in between the trees. I don't know if there's not enough contrast, if it's too monochromatic. I really like the blue up here and the greens up here in the trees. I think that's coming out really nicely. But there's something with this lower half that I feel needs something. I just don't know what. So I have a couple ideas, so I'm going to try them out and hope they work. All right, idea number one is to bring down this blue area between the trees with some pan pastels. So let's try that. Idea number two is to bring in some grayish white paint into that area. All right, I think it's better. There's the side that I did. There's the side that I have not done. I think they definitely pop out. My camera battery is about to die, so I'm going to let you go here. I'm probably going to continue to work on this just a little bit longer. I will insert a couple quick videos here of the somewhat final piece. I have to go back in and redo the trees because as I was fusing over them a million times, I kind of obliterated the lines in those. So I have to go back in and do those. That will be in the next video though. So smooth trees now. Instead of on this side, there's still a little bit of texture in them. So we'll see you on the next video for that. Didn't quite get this painting done in this one, but I'm going to go because my battery keeps flashing at me and I'm afraid it's going to quit. So if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. It really, really does help me out. Thank you so very, very, very much for following along. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.